Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing 1844. So we're still pretty much at the start of the game. We go into the third operating round. Until now, only the 5 state railroads have been started, or the pre-state railroads have been started. And couple of players could have had the option, this guy here and also him, if they had sold basically everything they could have started a regional railroad, but probably only fairly low, and it's very questionable that thing then would have been a successful one. So the decision was to wait until the 2H train is exported, and then they also should have a little more money. So their plan is now to start in the next stock round a new company, and of course then also to sell their privates into that company. So all the shares that are available are sold out. The 5 companies are all sold out, and we start with JS down here, and I'm gonna lay track for 30 bucks. We're gonna go through the mountains, and that is actually, oops, Yverdon, I guess, and yeah, they make that connection here, and then they still have that pretty good run here. The 2 train is still operating for 70 bucks. So things aren't terribly exciting. Basically all the companies try to connect to their destination. The JS did that. They want to go here eventually. These guys here, the SCB, they want to go here. They want to avoid the mountains here, so they are kind of hoping that they can somehow hook up here. They don't want to swallow. They don't have any money left in there, so they try to do it this way somehow. The VSB tries to go here. They do have the terrain cost necessary. The GB basically does nothing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The last company operating is the NOB. They lay now a tile here in Baden, and that means they managed to make a connection with Aarau, which is actually their home destination, or their destination. So that means they will now receive the remaining money. So they started at 100 bucks. That means they get another 200 bucks in the treasury. Problem is, they don't really need that right now. They are at that train limit. So basically only if the company, if he starts a second company, he can somehow maybe juggle around here and somehow get a second company in there. Now, I'm not sure, or a second train. Basically, they can buy a train out and then buy a better train or something. But you know, the thing is, I'm actually considering if it makes sense to maybe place a token here, and then maybe in the next turn, I don't have quite as much money. I'm considering buying a mountain railroad, but that costs 150 bucks that I don't have. Well, but I will get money now. So let's see, maybe I might have enough to buy a mountain railroad next turn, but I can still then place a token if I want to. So I think there is no hurry right now. Okay, so let's see. I run for, that's 40, and yeah, I also run for 70 like most of the companies. This one runs for 80 here, and that one 90, and all the other three run for 70. Okay, so we're back in the next stock round. This guy sits on priority, and I don't know what I was thinking. Somehow I was miscalculating here. I thought yeah, I basically, I remember, the thing is, my plan was, I wanted to sell the share of the SCB that I had, and then start with that money, accompany here the JN, but it wasn't quite enough. So I thought, maybe I hold back. But then I thought, okay, I want to make all this cool, this synergy here with the JS and the JN. So I preferred to have 3 shares of the JS, but to do that, I had to sell the SCB share that I had and that I wanted to sell to get enough money to start the other one, and then buy the JS. And now I still don't have the money to start the other company without selling that share of the JS. So that kind of sucks. I mean, I could start the company for $70, but that would only give me 350 in my treasury, and that's not a lot. Now the 2H train will go away at the end of the round, and we're going to see the 3 trains coming in. I wonder how many there are. Quite a few, actually. Quite a few. Wow. Okay, so again, lots and lots of 3 trains. And there are 180, and the other ones are 150. So I need about $400 in my company if I want to sell that thing. If I want to sell that thing, and then I have some terrain cost going on here. So if I want to sell that thing and in addition buy a train, I'm going to need $400. Okay, great. So honestly, I think I have to bite the bullet and sell this thing again. It sucks because someone else will get it, and the JS will be an excellent company. So that is really a shame. But, you know, what else? I have $200. Everything is sold out. I got to do something. I could wait until someone else invests and then be an investor in this company. But at some point, I want to get rid of this one too. So I guess it is now the time to sell this one. And yeah, so I get $120 for that. And now I got enough money to start the JN at 100. And yeah, I think I want to do that. Okay, so this guy here, he now wants to start the CHA. He's got the tunnel company. He can use that here to build that Albula tunnel and towards San Moritz. Maybe somehow get a mountain railroad there at some point in the game. I mean, it's all pretty expensive, but and then he can also sell his tunnel company for 160. it's tough, you know. I mean, basically after all these actions, there's not going to be any money left in the company, I guess. So basically, he's got to spend 150 for that thing, 160 for his tunnel company, and another 100 for the tunnel itself. So that's 360. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be okay. The company will receive 500 bucks, but there's not much left. Let's say it that way. So I gotta sell a share of the VSB. The NOB would not be enough, but yeah, I can sell that share of the VSB for 120. So it drops down. And then I got enough to start the CHA over here. And I'm also going to need 30 bucks here. I'm going to need another 30 bucks here. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to need a lot of money to make this thing work. So it's 500 is exactly what I need. Oh, not exactly, but it's pretty much what I need. Okay, so now this guy basically has the option. He could start the VZ. Okay, so basically he's got to sell this thing here, which brings him to 250. He could start the VZ at 80, which gives him then capital of 400, which isn't great. He could start the MOB. And he might be interested in doing this because he already holds 10% of the NOB, and he wants to make that share count, right? So if he starts the MOB, he could do it, but he could only do it for 60. And that means he would have then 600 bucks in his company, well, which is actually not correct. He will only hold half of it, and because first he has to make a connection to here, oh boy, which is expensive. So I think it's not very reasonable for him to think, I want to start the MOB to quickly sell in this company for 280 bucks. And maybe also that one for 100. You know, I mean, that would be 380 bucks that go away from the company. In addition, he needs a train. So, I don't know, that's kind of like 580. Not quite, right? But there is no chance for him to anyhow get to this area. So that doesn't work. That's pretty bad. Maybe holding two of these companies is more tricky than I thought. I mean, what I could do is it's a tough choice. Do I want to start this for 60 and maybe only buy in one of the companies, for example this one, for 100 bucks. I got 300 bucks if I started for 60. That would be enough to buy a train and that company, but I never make it here. So basically that doesn't make any sense to me. I think starting this is totally pointless. I'll never make it to Thun, which is the name of this city. So maybe I want to actually start this one. I can make 400 bucks out of this one. And I mean, you know, if I could, for example, run a 3 train here to the Matterhornbahn, but I'm gonna need, yeah, I'm gonna need that mountain railroad, which I don't have. Oh boy, this is tricky. But I don't have to make that connection, you know. I can also do other things. I can go like this. But of course this is not really promising, but it would allow me to sell my private. I could, yeah, I could even be drastic and sell that thing for 280 bucks. I mean, of course, I got no idea how to be successful with the region. I can't even do that quite. This thing costs me 150 and 280. That's kind of like 430. I don't have that much money in my company. Oh boy. So I don't know. It doesn't seem this, or that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I could sell the other one. I could sell this one for 100. That's something. That's not so bad. And then, yeah, got a little more cash, and then maybe soon I can start this one. They might have also good synergy. So maybe that is not such a terrible idea. I might go with that. Yeah, maybe I can do that. But this company doesn't make a lot of money if I cannot go to this mountain railroad. That's a fact. But even if I can, it's not... I mean, here I can make a maximum of 50. I could go like this. That's not... That would be 80 then or something, maybe 90 if I upgrade this. If I go in this direction, I can only make 30, kind of like 60, which is really bad. So yeah, maybe this would be okay. But I can't afford that mountain railroad. That's a simple fact. Well, what I could do though is I could try to go here. I mean, it's not so bad. And then if I get a token laid here, I can run a 3 train, for example, from Lausanne to this mountain railroad. Or that isn't so bad anymore. So I'm not sure, but I think I want to start the railroad there. It just makes sense simply because I have to buy in one of my privates. You know, otherwise I'm sitting on these private companies here, and I'm starting to lose ground to everybody else. So I have to do that. There's no way around that. So I'm going to sell this one here for 100 bucks. And then I'm sitting here on 250. 200, yeah. Well, that is just enough to start a company for 80. Okay, so all the regionals have been started, and all the pre-state railroads have been started. So if you want to start a new company, there's only the state railroads left. So this guy is now sitting here in 4th position. Is he eager to start a company? That's an interesting question. He has 20% of the F&M. Question is, does he want to use that thing? Is it important for him to do so? Or, you know, I mean, he might also say, hey, if I want to start it, I need to get, somehow I have to sell a lot of stuff, basically 2 shares, and then I can buy 3 shares of the F&M, which means I have to sell 50% to get 30% of another company. And honestly, I don't think the F&M, I mean, the F&M could run now for, Yeah, probably for 50, 90, eventually probably a little more, but until I can set up a real good run for them, that will take a while. So I think I cannot really make more money with the F&M than I can with these other shares. So I might as well say, hey, I'm going to invest in I'm going to buy some of these, you know, they make money and they're not performing poorly or anything. They are actually doing pretty well. I could even consider, but I'm not sure if I want to do that, buying a mountain railroad here and then set up some crazy stuff with the NOB. Now this is something I gotta think about. So yeah, actually I think I want to go that way. So my idea is I'm gonna sell these 2 shares here. That allows me to buy another share of the NOB because I think that this will perform very, very well. And a mountain railroad. I wonder if it's enough if I sell a single share. So I got 100, interesting. I got $135 in my hand. So I only need $15 for the mountain railroad. And I need $90 for the NOB, which means I need 105. Well, yeah, it's actually that's going to be okay. I think if I sell an SCB share, I'm going to have enough money to do that. So easily, yeah. I get 120. And then I'm going to buy another NOB for 90, which means I get back $30. And then in my next action, I can buy the mountain railroad. I want to avoid that someone else grabs an NOB share. Now, there is a slight chance, but very unlikely, that the other players also buy mountain railroads. But there are 2 of each type. And so I think there is still the one that is good in green. I don't think there will be 2 players who start mountain railroads. You know, the others were barely able to start their regionals for a reasonable price. So the only guy who might be interested in doing something like that could be him. But there is no mountain. There's no mountain in this area. So I really don't think I gotta be afraid here. So now it's him again, and well, I mean, he's in a position, he just does not have a lot of cash. He's not in a good position, but I don't know, starting something new, I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, to be honest. I mean, this thing here, well, it probably has one more real good run because they operate before the 3 train comes. They will fall back. I see. Maybe that actually is not correct. Because if there are shares here in the bank pool, they will fall back left. And then we're going to have a 100 marker here of the other companies that just were started now. So, yeah, I think this train here, that one, will become a 2H train when it's his turn. And then it cannot run here anymore. So this company will probably make significantly less money. So I think I also want to sell that thing for $110. There we go. And yeah, I don't know what I'm aiming for here. maybe the VSB, or I'm not sure yet. The V's. I wonder if I see if that the JS has these cool plans. So I'm going to make a roll here, I guess. Yeah, so that's interesting. I actually hold now 100% of the VSB. That's not bad. It's sold out, will go up in share value, and it makes solid money. It's not excellent, but it's okay. Problem is, I'm sitting now on, I don't know, not quite $100. That's not going to be enough to buy anything else. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, there's nothing else I can do, I'm afraid. So yeah, gotta live with that. Okay, then we continue to these guys. They will buy the third share of the companies they just started. So this is the JN. The company is now floated. And then we go once more around the table, I guess. Okay, so this guy bought the third share of the JN, the Jura Neuchâtel, which now is floated and has $600. This guy floated the Rua Arosa for $600, and this guy the Visp Zermatt, $400, only a par value of 80. Now remember, these companies are the regionals. They get their full capitalization. They don't have a destination. One problem here, and that is, I think it's a really design flaw. You can already see that the table is, I mean, it's really pretty much covered here with stuff, right? And the 6 major companies have not even been started yet. And then comes, I mean, this is just ridiculous. I have no idea how I should get this on the table. There will be a way, I guess, but I really don't get it. If you have a game that has, I don't know, like 15 companies or something, why do you make sheets of that size? You know, half the size would have been just fine. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we're not done yet. This guy here, player 4, I gotta remember that this company is not his company, but it's actually his company, but I think that will be okay. So this guy now buys a mountain railroad. Now the mountain railroads all cost 150, and it doesn't matter which one you buy, right? I mean, that's... And the moment you buy that thing, you have to choose one of these markers here. And you'll notice they come in pairs. You have one which is basically strong in green. You have one which is very strong in brown. Or you have one which is strong in green and brown. You have one which is strong in brown and gray. Wait a minute. Okay, so what do we have? Yeah, and then we got these, which are pretty much a little more even here. Okay, so I guess because this company will go away when the 5 comes out, so I think I don't care how it does when it's in gray. So I guess what I'll do is I'm going to place this one here so that it makes a lot of money in green. And yeah, and this is it. When this company is used for the first time, I could place a marker here just as a reminder. There is a B1 marker somewhere, I guess. There we are. So I can place a marker here. And now when this company is used for the first time, I'm going to remove that marker and then I'm going to flip this company. And from then on, it will pay me 40 bucks at the start of each operating round, and it will never be closed. And at the end of the game, if it is used, if it paid out us once at least, it will be worth 150 bucks. So that is pretty cool. And of course it will boost the value of my runs, and I hold 75% of that. So that is pretty awesome. Okay, we got this guy here. He's got about 90 bucks left. So he could buy a share of the VZ, but does he really want to? I don't think so. We still have a single operating round, so the share won't do him any good. Therefore, I think I simply have to pass here, and it really sucks, but yeah, I guess I have to pass, and at least I'll be first in priority order for what it's worth. Okay, I guess this is then the end of this. Yeah, I don't think anybody else has the money to do something. So we go into the next set of ORs. This thing is removed from the game. Shouldn't forget that. Let's see. This is sold out. This one isn't, but this one is sold out. These are not. The NOB is sold out, so it goes up. Oh gosh, this one, it's tricky. I'm not sure actually in which. This one has a marker here in the market, so I think first I'm gonna move the one that was that had a higher value. But that's a little tricky here. The SCB also goes down. And I think this is it. Yeah, I think that's fine then. Okay. Okay, the privates paid out. The GB ran for 80. And now the VSB has exactly 20 bucks left to build that bridge here to Sargans. And question is, how do I want to place that tile? Where do I want to go? Do I want to go here? Do I prefer to go here? Not so sure, to be honest. It probably doesn't matter too much. Okay, I simply rolled a die and it turned out I'm gonna go into this direction here, connect with Arosa possibly. In the end, it probably won't matter. Important for me is I managed to get to my destination, and that gives me another 180 bucks. So that's kind of cool, but I'm also train locked. So at the moment there's not a lot I can do with it. Yeah, so we'll see about that. I'm gonna run that 2 train for the last time before it comes to 2H. So we can run for 70 here. So now the JN is operating and they're gonna work toward the connection with the JS, because if the JS connects to this, they will get their remaining capital, because that's the destination here. The problem for the JN is that they basically cannot run a train when they make this connection in the next turn. That's how it looks, because they can only buy a 3H train, so they cannot go anywhere. They need to make a connection to here or to here to actually run. But that's not quite true. The thing is, now the JN is before the JS. But because the JN will fall back and the JS will pay out, this order will change. So in the next turn, the JS will have the option to upgrade this tile, and then the JN can upgrade this tile. So the JN will have a route next turn. And yeah, sadly it's only, I mean, they're gonna have a 2 hex train. I'm not sure, I might even consider buying the 2 hex train down from these guys. But yeah, I don't know actually. It's a little tricky. No, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these guys. Anyway, for now, I want to buy a 3 train. The reason is, and I can only buy a 3H train. I want to buy that thing in the $220 private. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame, because that 3H train is not that useful to me, but there are no other options. I can only run a 2H train would be good enough. The 3H train only adds $10 if I make a connection here with beer. So, I mean, I could wait. Maybe I can even offer other players to buy a 2H train from them. Interesting. Well, sadly I realized it's not that easy. In this game, if companies belong to different players, you can only trade trains between them for face value. If I could have gotten a train, I don't know, maybe for 10 or 20 bucks, so the company would have had a free slot for a new train. Some companies now have a lot of money. For example, these guys, they have now 240 bucks, but they're train locked. So it could have been in their interest to say, hey, I'm going to sell you, I don't know, for 20 bucks, I'm going to sell you a 2 train. And then you might consider buying a 4 train later. But I'm not willing to actually pay 70 bucks for a 2 train, which will not last that long. So I think I'm going to go with a 3 train here, or a 3H train for 150. So I get back 350, and then we're in green. I'm going to check the table, what that actually means, but I'm pretty sure nothing too exciting except that I can buy in now my privates. Well, of course, and I just realized I couldn't buy the 2 train from another company before green anyway. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, we got the standard things going on. I can now buy my privates in, the green tiles become available, the abilities of the privates may now be used. Also, if the company does not own them, it just has to be a company owned by a player that also owns the private. And apart from this, there's nothing exciting going on, I think. So I'm going to buy the private for 220 bucks. That is a ton of money. There's only still 225 bucks left in here, so it's not so bad. And I can still flip this thing and get another 80 bucks into the company. So it's not as terrible as it sounds, maybe. In addition, the private will pay out 20 per operating round, I guess, for a couple of more operating rounds. So overall, I don't know, maybe I can get about 150 or something back into the company for the private. So it's actually a pretty good deal. The SHA starts operating, so they will get their token. Let's see. They are sometimes hard to find here. They look so similar, these tokens here. If you look these two here, it's ridiculous. On the camera it's a little more clear, but here it's really bad. So we place that thing. And well, first we got to pay 30 bucks for the terrain. Then I got to spend 100 bucks for the tunnel. And I got to spend 150 bucks for the train. Okay, so it's 280 bucks that I got to spend overall, if I'm not mistaken here. 150, 130. That sounds like 280 to me. Okay, great. So let's do that. So we get 320 left. And we can lay a tile. Well, I cannot go out of board. So how do I want to lay my tile? Do I want to go in this direction? Do I want to go north? I mean, I could lay the tile off board, but it doesn't really help me. I think eventually, that's probably the best I can do with the Cha, is run a 5 hex train, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty much my goal. I don't think there is anything better going on here. So therefore I'm going to place it like this. And I mean, right now, obviously, there are no 5H trains. But toward the end of the game, if I can run a 5H train here, I might be able to make good money, considering that these are 20% shares. So let's see. And yeah, of course, we got now our first train, our first tunnel. So we paid 100 bucks, like written here. We place the tunnel like this. We can do that in addition to our tile lay. And then we got to flip this tunnel company. The tunnel company came with the private, otherwise you have to pay 50 bucks for it. But in this case it came with the private, and no, we don't have to flip it yet. First, we also will simply place a marker there, and then the T1 marker. And these tunnels work pretty much like the mountain railroads. When the tunnel has been used for the first time, so next turn, we can flip this thing, and then it pays us an additional 10 bucks in addition at the start of the operating round. Okay, that's nearly it, but not quite, because now we can buy in for 160 bucks private number 3. So that means get back 40 bucks. And now this company is not in a good shape anymore, but okay, this is how this works. So I'm not quite sure why this is, well, it doesn't probably matter. Okay, So that's private number 3 now, and from now on it will pay into the company, but of course that was a big hit. So there's one thing I kind of realize here. I'm not absolutely sure about that, but I think that these routes might appear maybe in every game like that. It seems like pretty much every company has a very specific route that it will go, and it is possible, of course, that the companies will be started in a different order, but I wonder how likely that is, considering that, you know, it seems pretty obvious that these companies are better than these companies, and they cost less and so on. So it seems that the pre-state railroads might be started first. But anyway, that's something, you know, I'm afraid that you will see the same configuration of the map in every game. I mean, that is something you have in so many 18xx games, but some are a little worse than others, and, well, I don't know. But I might be wrong. Okay, so let's see. We have the JS now operating, and this is also kind of an interesting move now, because they can make the connection to their destination by placing that tire. So all that went a little better as I actually expected. Oh, by the way, I forgot. All the 2 trains are now 2H trains, of course. So yeah, with the purchase of the 3 train, these trains are downgraded. So we have now the connection here, and yeah, that means I get another $200. And then I'm gonna run my 2H train, which isn't that great. I can now run this thing no longer from here, from Genève to Lyon. Now I gotta run to here, Nyon, and that's $50. Okay, so, but the next run will be a good one. So we run for $50. That means 25 and $13 go to this guy, and $12 go into the company, because we have here a share and it is rounded down if it goes to the company. So there we go. Share value rises, of course. And now we're gonna buy us a 3 train for 180. And that means basically that this company is now, we don't have to care about this company anymore. It's kind of a permanent train for these guys, because before that train rusts, the company will fall into the state railroad. So it's now the NOB. They got quite a bit of money. But they're train locked, which is a shame, so they cannot buy. I mean, they might, maybe the Cha will eventually even buy a train from them. That might be an option. So they can buy a 3 train here. We might consider that. Right now, the idea is, I think I want to buy a token here. There we go, we place that here. And I can upgrade a tile, I forgot that. Which one do I want to upgrade? Zurich gives me a little more, I guess. So yeah, let's upgrade Zurich first. This one here. This is a Z. Yeah, that goes up to... And here you got the choice now. That's a little tricky. You got these two options. Now I got to see... It is... Ah, boy. I think that Zurich cannot be upgraded if a specific... If a tile is placed in a specific way, it cannot be upgraded to gray anymore. So I got to check that. I don't know exactly what I actually thought here. Well, this is not sitting here. No. What does that do here? I think whatever I want to do, I'm going to place this tile here. I have no idea. I might have been wrong about that. So we go like this. And now we can run for a good amount of money, actually. We have our 2 2H trains. So we can run one train for 60. And we can run the other train for 70. And next turn we can upgrade this one too. And then we're going to make 20 additional bucks. So that's really, really good. So that means 60 and 70 is 130, and that's pretty awesome. In addition, this thing will now be removed, and it means that the mountain railroad will be upgraded now, and from the next operating round on, it will pay 40 bucks to the owner. And the privates, the mountain railroads, they do not count against the certificate limit as well as the tunnel companies. Okay, so the SCB, they are now not in a great position anymore. They basically lost their train here. So that's really not good. They can only run a single train right now. So I am considering, I got that company here, the Bödelibahn, which allows me to lay a yellow tile for free. Now my basic plan was, and I thought that would be pretty good, I wanted to use that down here. You know, then I can run here pretty quickly, can link up here, and can make a connection here. And I'm still not sure. It seems like that's a pretty good idea. Otherwise, I'm going to run for 30 bucks here. And if I can make a connection here, you know, I might be able to make clearly more money. The thing is, and it's very tempting, I could lay the free tile here, make an upgrade here, and then, if I swallow once with these guys, I can lay a token in there, and nobody can prevent that. And then this would be also a really profitable company. But then this company will really suck. So, I don't know, that is a tough choice. It's a tough decision, but I think I'm not gonna do that. The thing is, I'm only holding 50% of that company. There's still 2 shares in here, but that means that because I'm 4th in priority, I probably won't get a share of that company if it looks that promising. So I'm sitting on my 50%, and the other company, where I own 60%, is totally screwed. Because, you know, I mean, they are just running for 30, and it will take them 1, 2, 3, 4 operating rounds to get there. So honestly, I think that is a bad idea. It would be cool if I would not own this company. So I'm not sure what to do instead. It's tricky to get to this space here because, you know, the other will probably prevent me from entering here. They can pretty easily do that. You can do an up. If I go here, you know, they can easily upgrade in a way that it's impossible for me to break in there. Might consider going in this direction. That might help because the guy might be more interested in improving his connection than in fucking up mine. I think there is, you know, actually I think this might be the best thing to do. So I could also upgrade this thing and then try to lay a second tile here and run the 2 trains this way. But, you know, I will run for 70, which isn't great. If I lay this tile here and the other guy does not block me out, I'm probably going to be able to place a token here and run for much, much more. So is that my plan? Seems so. You know, I think I want to roll a die here on a 1 to 5. I'm gonna risk it, and otherwise the guy thinks, oh, he might block me out, and it's all terrible. So let's see. Okay, that is a 4. So we're gonna try it, and I think odds are pretty high that he won't block me out, but instead try to improve his own position. In a 2-player game or in a 3-player game, it might be different. But you know, there are four other players in the game. It's not only him that he wants to hurt. He isn't doing that great anyway. So yeah, I think it's not my main interest to screw him. Okay, now. Oh, and I gotta swallow. It's $40. I gotta swallow because I want to place my token in there. Oh boy, that all sucks. But okay, the value will drop, and that's it. Then it is the last company, the VZ down here, and so they're gonna spend $20 first. Damn, why? Let's see, there we go. Okay, they're gonna spend $20 for the first tile, and then I'm gonna use the ability of that private and lay immediately a second tile. So, which way do I want to go? That's not easy to say. I think in general, I'm interested going this way. On the other hand, that one is cheaper. Yeah, I probably want to go that way then. This one is cheaper. It will bring me this direction here. And if I want to build to that railroad, I could also place it like this. Maybe that's even better. So let's do it like this. I'm probably gonna go for this railroad on that, not for that one. So I don't know. Let's do it like this. It probably doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna spend another $20. So that is already $40 to lay this tile here with the ability of the company. Okay. So that's 40 bucks. And then I'm gonna buy the company in for 100 bucks. Do I want to buy? Nah, I don't think so. I could buy the big company in for 280, but then I got the problem that I barely have any money for the train. So I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, I don't think I want to. So I'm going to spend, for now, only 100 bucks. Huh. 280 is pretty ridiculous. I mean, no, I cannot afford a train and whatever. So let's do 100. I mean, I don't have to do the 280. I could do it for less, but that's not the goal of the whole thing, right? Okay, so 100 bucks for the player, and then the company has to buy a train. Now they're gonna buy an they can only buy an H train anyway, so they're gonna go with a 3H, of course. They could buy a 2H from these guys. Interesting. Do they want that? Probably not. But maybe next turn. It's hard to tell. Eventually the company will get the money here. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do it next turn, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see if the company manages to connect to that space. I clearly have my doubts that this will be possible, but we'll see. Okay, so that's the end of this operating round. We go again in a stock round, and I think I'm gonna load this up now. So that was a quite exciting OR. We've seen the green tiles coming out, the mountain railway working here, pretty awesome. Lots of new companies. So I guess the game will now speed up quite a bit. And yeah, there's a lot of money now in the game because of the sale of the privates. So I can clearly see now the possibility that maybe the first majors could get started. This guy is sitting now on 300 bucks. I'm not sure. Maybe investing in other stuff might be still more lucrative, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe the first majors come out, maybe not. So hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.